You're now tuned in to The Investor Show, where we teach simple wealth creation for the common investors. With investment advisor, award-winning author, international speaker, and founder of Royal Financial Investment Group, Prince Dykes.
What's going on, guys? This is The Investor Show. As always, this is your host, Prince Dykes, coming to you guys live on Friday. But hold up, that beat is banging. Let me play that back one more time. Hey guys, hey, just checking in, having a little fun on this Friday. I know I was listening to some of my old podcasts. I'm like, man, my voice is dragging. And a lot of times, the reason why my voice is dragging sometimes, I be recording these podcasts 2-3 o'clock in the morning. I'm doing these interviews. Some of these people are on the other side of the world. Some of these people are, on the East Coast. I'm out here in the beautiful state of Hawaii, where we're 6 hours behind the East Coast. So when it's 10 o'clock in the morning or 9 o'clock, 8 o'clock in the morning on the East Coast, when I'm interviewing somebody, it's like 2 or 3 in the morning. So, I was like, man, I need to pick that energy up a little bit. But hey, I'm doing it on this episode, giving you guys a little bit more of me. So if I'm a little bit loud or whatever the case may be, like, why do you have so much energy? I don't know. That's maybe that's why it'll explain it. But anyway, I wanted to jump into, I gotta give myself a shout out here. Don't forget, if you want to support the podcast, don't forget to hit the likes, love, share button wherever you may be getting this podcast around the world. Shouts out to and appreciate all my YouTubers, all of my SoundClouders, all of my tune-inners and iTuners, whatever you want to call it, Facebookers or whatever. However you getting this podcast, I appreciate it. Share it, do all this other good stuff, leave some feedback. Let me know if it's good, let me know if it sucks. But always, if you want to support, check out my book, The World's First Investment Book for Children, Wesley Learns to Invest. Check out my cartoon, Wesley Learns, my app, IABOH. What else I got there? Hey, hit the subscribe button on YouTube. Check out the Investors channel on YouTube. Check me out on Facebook. My name is Prince Dykes. Check out Wesley Learns has a Facebook page. Royal Financial Investment Group. All of the good stuff. Hey, just go out there and show me a little bit of love. But anyway, I appreciate you guys for tuning in this beautiful Friday. I hope it's beautiful where you are, because guess what? It's beautiful here in Friday. It's beautiful Friday here in Hawaii, and also doesn't matter what it looks like outside. Maybe where you're at it's cold and windy and chilly, but guess what? As long as you feel like it's beautiful on the inside, it's beautiful, right? But anyway, I don't have a lot of time, and I definitely know you guys don't have a lot of time, so we're gonna jump straight into it. That's like my signature trademark. I can't do nothing when I'm saying it, right?
Investor Show with Prince Dykes.
So as you guys can see, this title of this episode is named The Election in the Stock Market. I really don't know what it's named. That's what I think I'm going to name it. But anyway, it's going to be something like that. But anyway, what I'm looking at this Friday, coming up on Tuesday, it's a very big, monumental day in American world history. America! Yeah! Freedom is the only way. And matter of fact, because we get a new president of the United States, it's either going to be Donald Trump. Round of applause for Donald Trump. Or is it going to be Hillary Clinton? Round of applause for Hillary Clinton, everybody. Round of applause. Good job. But anyway, it's going to be one of those going to be our president. Now, I know what you guys probably thinking, Prince, who you think it's going to be? Well, I might be wrong. When you hear the podcast next Friday, I might be like, hey, guys, I was an idiot. But if it was me, if I was a betting man, if I had to put some money on somebody, I would say it would be Hillary Clinton. Why? Now let me put out a disclaimer. I am, by any means, I'm not a political guy. This is not a political show, or at least right now, I don't think it is. But I'm not a political guy. But the reason why I'm bringing this topic up is because it's so monumentally important. I can't miss it in world history. The reason why I don't think it's going to be a landslide, but I think that Hillary Clinton is going to win due to the fact that as a society as a whole, we have moved to, we're more liberal now. We're a little bit more left, Think about it. In the last couple of months, it's been kind of, hey, who can use the restroom and, these rights and these, same-sex rights and all that stuff like that. I just feel as though right now in society, we're a little left. And as a whole, in the general population. So I think that with that being said, I think Hillary in the general election would win it. I mean, that's just me. Maybe I'm wrong. We'll see, right? If I had to put my money on somebody, if I was a betting man, I would say Hillary Clinton. Now, the thing about it, I usually stay away from political topics, religion topics, same-sex topics. Those are topics I just stay away from. And this is a very, very mature audience. If you get inside of your work environment, or you get inside of whatever you're at in life, and you're not around a mature audience, then the way crazy people get these days about, hey, people are. I go down my timeline, people are like Trump, and some other people are like Hillary. And the thing is, I'm just in the background like, okay, do you, hey, cast that vote to whoever you want to cast it for. When you go on Sunday or Saturday or whatever you do, and you go wherever and you get on your knees and pray to whoever, that's on you. Do your thing. I'm proud of you. Hey, we all have our own lives to live. Guess what? We all gonna die anyway. So if that's what you want to do while you're here, knock yourself out. If when you get behind your closed doors, you like to do whatever in your bedroom, knock yourself out. If you're happy with it, somebody else is happy with it, or if you're happy with it by yourself, cool beans, right? Whoever you like to vote for, hey, that's the whole purpose of an election. Go out and vote for who you want to vote for. My personal opinion, I think, you should be more involved with your local politics, because I think they have a more bearing on you than the national government. But hey, who am I? I'm not a political analyst or nothing like that. I'm not going to pretend to be. I just think it's pretty comical on social media how everybody turns into everybody has a doctorate in political science and knows everything about politics. But hey, this is America. People can do what they want to do, right? But I think Hillary Clinton is probably going to take this election.
You're now tuned in to The Investor Show.
Now, how would this, if you're a business person, if you're looking at it from a business aspect, I think that most people would lean towards the Donald Trump because, he's a businessman, and some people say he's unsuccessful, whatever the case may be. But I think that he look at the world and economics in a business sense. So I think if Donald Trump was to get into the office, I think that the market I think it would end the year. I think it would probably, won't say collapse, but I think it would slide drastically. And the reason why I would think it would slide drastically, not anything bad, I think that Donald Trump would cut a lot of programs. I think he'll cut a lot of programs. I think he would stop a lot of things. I think that he would try to clean up house a little bit, in his own words. And I think that will cause fear throughout the market. I think that, what else I think? But overall, I think, just his mindset and the way that he looks at things, that he will shake up things on Wall Street and put a lot of fear into investors and put a lot of fear into Americans and investors around the world, that they will start to either pull their money out, or it will cause a significant downturn in the market. But with that being said, I think that would bring great opportunity to get into the market. When people get scared and they start to sell, I think it'll bring a great opportunity for people to come in and start investing. And over the long term, I think that Donald Trump will rebound the market in a drastic way. Like I had on a guest by the name of James. You guys didn't hear his episode. James was $1 billion fund manager. Worked on Wall Street for 40 years. And, way before I was even brought into this earth, he was working on Wall Street. He managed, worked his way up, had his own brokerage, and he was an institutional investor and had billions of dollars that he managed and played in the market for a long time. And one thing they say on Wall Street, and even my time now, I've been to Wall Street. I've met people on Wall Street, interviewed people on Wall Street, all of the stuff like that. I'm not one of the people that like to get out. You always hear the people, man, on Wall Street they do this, but they never been, and they don't, know the inside and stuff like that. But anyway, not saying that I do, but I have spent some time in researching and actually going there and meeting people and talking to people. But like he said, one thing in economics, history will repeat itself. So when we say history will repeat itself, when I look at a Donald Trump and I look at how the cycle of the market goes, I think that we're due for a correction. Remember back in 2008, I say this all the time, when we tanked out, in 2008. Look at 2000 when we had the dot-com bomb. Look at the, when the market crashed. So it's about every 8 years we see this big cycle. And historically, going into an election, the market has been doing pretty good this year. Well, pretty good since about 2010. It has been on a bull market. Bull means it's going up. Going into an election, historically, the market goes up. So as the market is going up and riding high, I kind of look and say, hey, when is that downturn coming? So you have a lot of investors out there that are trying to time the market and figure out when it's going to do whatever. But I think that it's going to, if Donald Trump was to win, I think the market would collapse. I won't say immediately, tomorrow, oh my God, where did the market go? But I think that it would decline because I think he would try to go in and clean up house. Not saying it's going to be a good thing or bad thing, but I think he'll try to clean up house, clean up a lot of things, where you have interest rates being at an all-time low and not being touched. You have all these federal funded things that's going on, all these stimulus packages that are still going on that are popping up, that's propping up the market. I think Donald Trump would come in and say, hey, instead of us putting all this money inside of the stock market, it'll be better suited over here for business owners or for this or that or whatever the case may be. And if we lose that propping within the market, then I think that we'll see a significant downturn in the in the major index, which can be a great opportunity to come in. But I think that once it gets ugly for that while, that it will, once things get cleaned up, once people slam the brakes, when they hit the slam the brakes, everybody gets scared and everybody's running around. Oh my God, what's going to happen? What's it going to be? When people get scared, just like we did in 2008, I was one of them. When people get scared, I think that slowly he will build back up the market up under Trump. Now, Hillary, I really can't say, I really don't know her economical talks. It has that typical politician talk type to her. Hey, I'm going to decrease taxes, bring jobs back to America, do XYZ, but everybody says that. Heck, if that's like politics 101, like, hey, guess what? You're going to say you're going to bring jobs back. You say you're going to do this, or whatever the case may be. But I think Hillary would kick the ball or kick the, I would say you could use the word, kick the rock down the corner a little bit, like, hey, you know what? Let's push it off. Let's keep these stimulus packages going on. I think that she will blow the bubble up bigger than what it already is. And the thing about it is, people are like, hey, do you think this collapse is going to be bad? I think the collapse is only going to be as bad as how big the bubble gets. When the bubble, if you burst a big bubble, it's going to be a big explosion. If you burst a little bubble, you have a little explosion. Now, people may be saying, Prince, what do you mean by a bubble? What do you mean by what bubble is going to bust? See, any time in the asset world, what I mean by assets, I mean things like your house, things like the market, things that can gain value over time. You always have these bubbles because when do people buy stuff? When do people rush and buy stuff? They buy things on their way up. I always like to use this for example. If you went into Walmart or something, you saw a gallon of milk for $30. You're not going to go rush and buy it. Let's say the first time you went to Walmart, you saw a gallon of milk for $15. The next time you went in, it was a gallon of 20. Then it was 25. Then if you saw it going up, you're not going to be like, hey, let me jump in and buy this milk because I think it's going to go higher. You're going to be like, man, milk is crazy. I'm going to be buying me I'm going to buy me a cow or I'm going to buy me some powdered milk or something. Or you would limit how much you would buy. But in the asset world, when we see things going higher, when we see people making profits, when we see things doing this and doing that, we buy more and more. That's when we get excited. People don't buy stuff when they see it collapse. They buy it when they see it going up. So when people see it going up, and they buy, so one person buy it at 30, another person buy it at 35, person buy it at 40. And when you really look at it, the gallon of milk is really only worth $5. It's just that people are paying crazy prices for it. It's no reason why the gallon of milk is that high. It's just that people are willing to buy it for that high. It's the same milk. It's nothing changing in the supply. The only difference is people are just willing to pay that much because they think it's going higher and higher and higher until somebody one day wakes up and be like, a gallon of milk is $55? I'm not buying that. Then somebody buys it for $50, and that's when you start to see somebody buys it for 50, then somebody buys it for 40, then somebody wake up and say, hey, you know what? Milk is very overrated. And this is a simplistic version, but that's what's happening on the market, and that's what happened in the asset classes all the time. That's why you always have bubbles. You know, when you see the asset world, oh, it's a bubble. This bubble is going to burst. The housing market bubble burst. The .com bubble burst. The oil bubble burst because it just goes up, 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 and people just buy more when they see it going up because they think it's going to go higher. It's like being in a hot real estate market. When everybody's saying, dude, buy a house, it's a no-brainer. That's when I get scared. You know, hey, it's a high market. You guarantee you're going to make money. Everybody's doing it. It's like the great Warren Buffett said, when people get fearful, get greedy. When people get greedy, get fearful. When I see everybody's doing it and hey, this is the way to go, I'm like, the market is not that easy. If it was that easy, hey, it'd be a whole lot more billionaires and millionaires around here than we see walking today. That's my thing. That's my outlook on that. I think Hillary would kind of kick it down and blow up the bubble a little bit further. But I think Donald Trump would be somebody to come in there and slam the brakes. We'll go into a market, economical downturn. Once they get all the papers filled out and people start to pick up, I think he'll do great things in the future, economical wise. Now, I don't know all his other policy. Like I said, I'm not the most political guy. I don't get into the whole. I pay more attention to the local government. I think everybody should go out there and let their voice be heard. Pick up your voices because even if you don't feel like, I don't care. Just go in there and write somebody in if you want to, or go vote for somebody else, or vote for yourself. I don't care what you need to do, but go out there and do your votes. And the reason why is people ask me this all the time. Like for example, I have the book, right? People come to me and say, hey, can I buy the book off you from hand to hand? Can I just show up to your house? And I really don't like buying or selling books hand to hand because I like for when people to go out and to spend their money and order the book or something like that, or buy it from someone else or buy it from a retail store, because those are real numbers that I can show people. It's one thing to be like, I purchase I can go have 100 or 200 of my own copies of my book purchased, give them away and tell everybody I sold them. But, I'm an honest person. I got integrity. So I just like to say, hey, when I go to bigger people and say, hey, I want to do a second book or whatever, I have to show them how much the first one sold. It's like the music industry, right? You can go download it and burn it and get it from a friend or whatever the case may be. But if you want to know that artist that know that you really support them, you got to go buy that ticket. And you got to go buy that album because that's their way of showing their record execs. That's their way of showing big America, or not America, but bigger business that, hey, people are out here supporting me. And that's the one way, they always do demographics. They would turn around and say, hey, you know what? The Latinos didn't vote Republican this year. The blacks didn't vote Democrat this year. White America didn't vote for whatever the case may be. The Asians didn't vote for this, or this person has a poll turnout. So that next politician that comes along, he knows or whatever, hey, we did something wrong here. We lost the Latino vote, the black vote, the youth vote, the old vote, the middle vote, all that stuff like that. Because at the end of the day, America, we live in a very capitalist society, and that's all that matters is numbers, numbers, and numbers. Take that into a quick little segue. But that's the way I sit back and I look at the whole election and how would it cause turmoil. Things are getting crazy now. They're looking at it as like, oh, if you support Trump, you're a racist. Not everybody. I'm just giving the general synopsis. Don't start, emailing me saying Prince said, paraphrase me or whatever the case may be. But that's kind of a general thing that I've seen on the outside. If you support Hillary, support a crook. And if you do this, it's just like, hey, let that man, woman, child, whatever, vote for who they want to. If somebody's on your Facebook that you don't like and you guys can't come to terms and be grown men and women about who they vote for, then guess what? Unfriend them. Hey, I don't like that guy or whatever the case may be. But I think that going forward, it's an election, it's a general election. Go out, vote for who you want to vote for. If you don't like the candidates, guess what? Go run the next time. That's my way to look at it. Everybody's like, hey, I'm a politician. This is what should be done. This is this and that and that. Hey, you know what? Go run. I'm a firm believer in when you get dealt a hand of cards, right? Let's say if I don't know if you guys play spades out there, or Uno or whatever the case may be. Say if you get dealt a hand of cards. Say if you got a bad hand. Now, you have three options, in my opinion. When you have a bad hand, when you're dealt a bad hand, you could, one, throw that hand in, give up. Hey, you know what? I got a bad hand. I can't win. Throw the hand in. Cool. I get it. But the second choice you could play the best hand you can possibly play with the cards you have. And that could be done, you could say, hey, you know what? These are the cards I have. These are the best hand I can play. That's what you can do. The third thing is you could take your hand and complain to the dealer that he dealt you a bad hand. Right? Hey, dealer, you gave me a bad hand, man. Look at this hand. You gave me a bad hand. And while you're doing that, everybody else is just playing the game. Playing the game. Playing the game.
You're tuned into The Investor Show with Prince Dykes.
Or you can say, you can throw the hand in and give up. Or you can say, hey, you know what? That's cool. This wasn't the best hand. I think the dealer fixed the deck. I don't think I think they shuffled the deck a funny way and gave me a bad hand on purpose. But you know what I'm going to do, though? I'm going to play the best hand possible. That's my opinion. I'm just going to say, hey, you know what? I ain't got the best hand. I don't have the best or whatever. But, hey, I'm going to play the best hand possible. So when I look at politicians and governments and whatever the case may be, I don't look to a politician to solve my personal problems. I don't look at a politician to save the world or whatever. Everybody has their own interests. People have their interests in religion. People have their interests in schools. People have their interests in policies, funding, deficits, market, business, whatever your interest is. And you find somebody that matches your interests, go ahead and vote for that person. If you don't, you have the right to sit at home and complain. You can sit back and say, hey, you know what? It's fixed. We only got two politicians. It's the worst thing in the world. Why? Somebody feels sorry for me and don't do anything and just throw your hand in. Or you can say, hey, you know what? This is what I have. I'm dealt the hand. I could either sit on the sideline, vote for somebody else, or play the best hand you have. Or you can just sit back and complain about the system being rigged. That's pretty much it, right? But whoever you vote for, go out there and vote. And, I don't want to start I was going to say, hey, comment or something like that. But I don't want to start that thread of people talking about, I vote for this person, and we're going to go to hell if we vote for this person, and the war is going to come to an end if this person get in, and all that stuff like that. Nobody is perfect. Nobody is going to be the perfect presidential candidate, because even if they was, they'd be perfect in your eyes and nobody else's. So that's why I like people to be mindful and stuff like that of who they vote for. But when we going into this election, the market would definitely react to who get elected. The immediate reaction, let me see what would be the immediate reaction. If Hillary was to get in office, I don't know how the market would really react to any politician, I'll be watching closely. I will be watching closely to see if the market reacts, or if it does, or how it may come about immediately. Like, I'm talking about that Tuesday, like the day the results come out. What would the market do that following day, that Wednesday? I don't really know. That'll be very interesting for me to see. I just know historically going into a market, and this year wasn't any different. You have a bull market. So what I'm going to do to take advantage, if we see a crash or anything, I'm definitely not going to happen the next day. But if we see a decline, I've said this plenty of times, I'm going to find me a good old index fund, boo. I'm not endorsing a fund. I'm not telling anybody to buy a stock or nothing like that. Let me throw that disclaimer out there. I don't want anybody to listen to this and say, hey, he told me to go buy this or whatever. But, I'm going to get me a nice little ETF that tracks the S&P 500. I'm just going to invest my money into it for the long term, over and over and over and over, and just go about it that way. I'm not going to try to pick this particular stock or pick that particular stock, because coming into this year, I was wrong. I figured that by now, the dollar would be down, and I figured that gold would be up. As of today, going into this election, gold is actually, so far this year goes have declined. Dollar has gone up. Inflation's kind of stayed about the same. It's on average. So those are the things I was expecting. I was expecting the dollar to decline. I was expecting gold to go up this year. I was expecting inflation to increase. But I was in the beginning of the year, everything was going right. Dollar was decreasing, and gold was going up. But when you fast forward to now, when you see BRICS happen, that increased the dollar. You see the yen happen. If you're not familiar with the BRICS, that's the pound leaving the euro. And, when that happened, that decreased their value. And when you decrease one value, the other one automatically goes up. So the dollar went up on that one. The yen has been going through its problems out in, what is the current? I can't even think of the currency. I'm having a brain fart right now, the Chinese currency right now. But their currency is going through a little tough time. And when other countries' currencies go through a tough time, so does it just powers up the dollar. So, that's the way things are looking right now. So as we go into this presidential election, I think we got some correction to do and stuff like that. But we'll see how it plans out and how it happens. So, go out and vote who you want to vote for, and just see what these politicians do. And we all know when politicians come in, they bring in a whole new audience. They bring in a whole team. They're bringing, Trump and friends, Clinton and friends, and stuff like that. But I will say this. This is one of my predictions. You guys can quote this now, and you're probably going to come back and say, hey, I don't know what this particular episode will be at in 5-10 years. But I'm thinking in probably 2020.
And yes, as you probably could have guessed by this moment, I have decided in 2020 to run for president.
2024, Michelle Obama is running for office. You heard it here. You heard it here, guys. Michelle Obama is running for office in 2024.
The Investor Show.
At least by 2028, I think she's going to come back, and I think she's propping herself up right now. She's leaving the office in a certain way to start voicing her opinions and starting to speak. And I think that Hillary Clinton's going to get it this time. And I think that she may run against Hillary and Kanye West. It's crazy. Hey, you know what? You can't count out Kanye West. Hey, Donald Trump made it. You can't count on nobody. You don't have to be a seasoned politician and graduate Harvard. Come on, man. Donald Trump did it. So I look at Kanye West. I don't know if he will really run. I don't know. That was a joke. The hip-hop artist will run. But if he does, I think that Hillary will probably be running for re-election. And I think Michelle will jump in there for the first time. She probably won't win. The Republicans may take the party in 20, whatever the case may be. But I just think that Michelle Obama will run 1 or 2 times. I just don't think this is the end of the Obama era. That's just me. Maybe I'm wrong. But we're going to turn it into a quick segue. I'll be back with you guys.
Is that End of Dreams dope?
Yeah.
Is he the best podcast producer?
Yeah.
Is he on Twitter?
Yeah.
I bet he on SoundCloud.
Yeah.
Guys, I got the best producer in podcast land. Guys, give it up for
At End of Dreams.
the best podcast producer in the podcast producing land. I don't know if that's a real thing, but hey, it is though. Hey, good job. Hey, you know what? Hey, he's been producing this show. If you guys like this show the way, you hear some of these songs and stuff like that's been playing, get it from
At End of Dreams.
But the thing about it is, we don't go to traditional, this is the most
different.
professional / unprofessional podcast, not podcast, of course, but in the investing world, in a very studious suit and tie type of world, we are seeing, we're breaking the barriers like I've always done.
I'm different.
You look at my track record, not to sit here and toot my own horn, but
I'm different.
From publishing that book, Wesley Learns to Invest, that was a good, that was the world's first investment book for children. Coming up with the app IABOH, pretty much putting the Shark Tank hands into every American around the world. IABOH, the world's first venture capitalist app. Boom. Then you're going to tie it into, all the other things, launching the cartoon, who writes an investment cartoon for kids? Me, that's who. But anyway, I'm not here to toot my own. So, anything I do, I like to keep it fresh, something new, something young, and stuff like that. But anyway, enough about that. Like I was saying before we went into the segue, have a little sip of water here.
Go, 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 go.
That Michelle Obama is setting herself up for a comeback. No, drop me a line. Let me know, would you vote for Michelle Obama? Would you vote for Michelle Obama? I think that she's going to come back. I'm not saying she should. I'm not endorsing anybody. I'm just looking at the landscape and I don't know. Hillary might be starting a new trend here, once the president does 2 terms, then the wife does 2 terms type deal. So, Bill Clinton, I think he's going to be the first man. That's what you're supposed to say? The first man? It's crazy that sound. I think he's going to be the first man in the White House. And then I think that probably about 4 or 5, 8 years down the line, Obama's going to be the first man in the White House. And that's just the way that I think it's going to be. Not saying it's right, but that's the way I think it's going to be. So that's the big thing I think this election is going to bring out. I think that I hope we don't have any chaos. I mean, come on, man. Come on, man. That's the whole point of democracy. You go in, it's going to be a conspiracy. I guarantee you it's going to be a conspiracy. People are going to be like, hey, I was at the poll and I hit the Trump button and it turned into the Hillary button and somebody pulled out a gun and told me I better vote for Hillary and I think they lied on accounts, and you're always going to have those stories. I don't think, because at the end of the day, come on, guys, if you know anything, if you listen to this podcast here or listen to this YouTube, have you catching this, you're a pretty intelligent person, you know good and well, you heard of the Electoral College. We all have heard of the Electoral College, and if you don't know what they do, please go Google the Electoral College versus the popular vote versus the electoral vote. So that's one thing, but the conspiracies are going to break out about, Hillary's going to say, hey, I will, something happened, and Trump is going to say something happened, and people are going to say it's going to something happen. Then there'll be a documentary on Netflix in about 2 years about what happened. You know what I mean? But, it's just crazy, but we have to look at it as who's good for business and how is it going to affect the market itself. So, but anyway, guys, don't forget to hit that like button, that subscribe button, that whatever button you may have, that share button. Let me know what you guys think, who you guys is voting for, or who you guys think is going to take this election. I don't know when you guys will probably catch it. If you did catch it afterwards, let me know and say, Prince, you was wrong. I'll be like, man, he was dead on. This is exactly what happened. So I put it on the line. And the reason I put it on the line is that a lot of people, they like to talk about things after they happen. Like, no, everybody want to be Monday night quarterback. Sunday they watch the game. Monday they come in, they're like, oh yeah, this is what happened. He missed a throw over here. He should have done this. Yeah, everybody can, look in the rearview mirror and talk about everything that happened because, it's over now. But how many people look in that foggy windshield that's so foggy? Our future is foggy. The rearview mirror is so clear. you don't know what's really going to happen and how many people are going to call out before they can see it and put themselves on the line. Because, this internet world is brutal. You guys are brutal out there. The world itself is brutal. And call it out. But, hey, I don't want to, hold you guys too long. But that's my opinion. That's my takes on the election. I'm going to listen back to this on next Friday. Not even next Friday, but next Tuesday to see was I right or not. I don't have to listen to it. I made it. So, But anyway, thank you guys for checking it out. And as always, to the next episode, podcast, or YouTube, Twitter, Instagram. Don't forget to check me out on all that stuff. Hit me up on Instagram, The Investor Genius. Twitter, @Royal Financial. Instagram, I already told you that. Prince Dykes on Facebook. Wesley Learns on Facebook. Royal Financial Investment Group on Facebook. IABOH on Facebook. Prince Dykes 1, I think, on Snapchat. What else I got out there? YouTube channel, the Investors channel, the #1 E-Trade channel in the world. But anyway, that's pretty much it. Until the next video, you guys already know what to do. Peace, be safe, and I'm out. Peace. Have a good election.